Alright, going to do another quick video. This is Friday afternoon, Good Friday, 1:30 p.m. These are the current winds. Curious about tomorrow, Saturday morning. See this big surge of southerly wind approaching. Where's a good place to be tomorrow morning in southern Ontario? So here's the 850 millibar heights with temperature. So you can see the really, really strong southwest wind approaching. So this is midnight tonight. You can see it's just sort of starting to reach extreme southwestern Ontario. Areas like Chicago are going to be sitting pretty. And throughout the day, you can see this sort of warm tongue of air cover most of the southern part of the province. If you switch over to rain, though, this is where things get perhaps a little more interesting. And you can see this warm air mass is really defined pretty well by this precipitation. So here we are midnight tonight. And I think in terms of migration, yes, some things are going to be moving, but it's this sort of core area down here that we're waiting to pass overhead. So if I were to zoom ahead, so by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning on Saturday, there is going to be rain sort of hitting this part of the province, and it's this section here that's really has the potential to either bring something unusual like a vagrant or just some really sort of early seasonal birds. Birds moving in front of this are going to be more the ones you expect for the time of year. So juncos will be moving, pine warblers. So based on this, if we go back to 5 a.m., there is a little bit of scattered precipitation. If one of those passes over the tip of Peely or Rondo Park at just the right time, it is going to knock down birds and make for sort of an exciting volume day. In terms of extreme vagrant potential, I think this front's just going to be a little bit too late for southern Ontario. If you're in this part of the world, you have sort of that higher potential. In terms of diurnal migration tomorrow, this rain is also going to get in the way where, yes, hawks will be moving in front of this kind of regardless. But there's really a timing issue here, and it's sort of the element of being on the knife edge, especially if you were wanting to hawk watch in this part of the world. By 7 a.m., you're covered in rain, so it's 8, 9, 10, 11 a.m., and suddenly you're clear in very warm air. I think it's supposed to be 23, 25 degrees Celsius in this part of the world tomorrow. And this is the knife edge I talk about where, yes, this looks like the setup for a really spectacular day, but if this rain slows down at all, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 a.m., this shows it pulling quite far away. But if this were to get a bit slower and it's still raining here, at 12 noon, the question is by the time the rain clears and then it's 1 o'clock, would a huge flight of broadwings bother even taking off at that point, or is that day kind of shot? Whereas if the rain cleared a little bit earlier, and suddenly this is 7 a.m. and the rain is leaving, and by 9 a.m. things are warming up and getting sunny, you have the potential for a huge movement here. So for me, the precipitation is a big element. This is the 12-kilometer resolution of the North American mesoscale. So this is 7 a.m. This one is showing a bit of that slower rain, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 a.m., and it's just starting to clear here. We'll skip the 32-kilometer resolution. The windy TV one shows this quite well too, so if I switch over to the precipitation, leave it on wind, put the wind up to hawk flight, so 900 meters off the ground, and then turn the rain layer on. I think the Euro is a bit slower here, so if I zoom ahead, this is 8 a.m. It loads. Okay, so this is 8 a.m. Tomorrow on Saturday. It's showing this huge mass covering most of southern Michigan. It's light rain, so it's hard to know exactly how this is going to shake down. But this is 11 a.m. and this is 2 p.m. It's just starting to clear, so you can really see the difference here. Even though we're very close, this is the part of weather forecasting that really drives people crazy who aren't really in the know on how these models work. There's no doubt that there's going to be rain passing overhead. The question is exactly what time. So is it going to stop raining at 10 a.m. or is it going to stop raining at 1 p.m.? And that's really hard to know at such a finite scale. Like, hey, I want to hawk watch right here in Tilbury. Tell me exactly when the rain is going to stop. So you can see the Weather Prediction Center sort of takes a very cautious approach with this. So this is 7 a.m. on Saturday, and it's showing most of southern Ontario and a good chunk of Michigan in solid rain. And jump ahead 6 hours, and it's showing the potential for isolated thunderstorms or isolated rain here. And the front hasn't moved as far ahead as it has in some of the models. So, for me, this is really a game time decision. If I were to be going somewhere far afield, I'd probably want to wake up at 4 a.m. and look at the radar and see exactly how this is playing out without relying on these models. Even the weather network here. So this is Tilbury. The spot, could be a decent hawk watch spot tomorrow. and I assume they use the Canadian model, which I haven't shown here before, but it's picking up on 70% chance of precipitation from 11, 12 to 1. So there's a bit of a spread, and this is that knife edge where it could be amazing, or the rain could just stop everything. Only real way to know is to go birding. If you wanted that one last bit of confirmation before you jumped in the car and drove for 2 or 3 hours, I'd check the radar in the morning. So just wanted to run through this quickly, and hopefully we have some really exciting birds. And I think there's a decent chance for some nocturnal migration Saturday night into Sunday too, which I could probably show that pretty quickly. I thought I was done, but I'm not done. So here's, say, 7 a.m. on Sunday. So you can see there's a lot of rain in the area. So this southwesterly wind is going to persist. The front sort of breaks up a little bit, so we don't really know where a thunderstorm is going to form here. But I think there's a pretty good potential that lots of birds are going to be migrating to the south, and might not be a huge fallout, but again, Sunday morning is going to be great birding. So, all right, that's it. Hopefully this was a quick video. More to come. Good birding.